About to go live on YouTube. And this was my dream years ago. It's funny. Now I can't go, now I got a Twitch deal, but OBS does not push my video. It's okay, so we're going to work within the means. That's what being a smart person is. And let's just, about to go live on YouTube. This was my dream years ago. Perfect. So it is live. We are good. It's working. It's working. It's working. I forgot that I have 4,000 subscribers on YouTube. I forgot this. And we're going to lock in. Now we're locking in. We got our coffee. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to Nico Costa's Twitch. If you're on Twitch, YouTube. If you're on YouTube, you're able to see me. And we have a lot to talk about, right? Everything should be set up. The gameplay is set up. Let's put the volume up. Let's cook. Let's cook a little bit. Let's cook, all right? So while we talk and play on YouTube, right, I want to talk about this book, right? And as this book is breaking and tearing, because this physical copy of this book is only 6 years old, right? And it's deteriorating, and it pushed it to its limits to a certain point. And that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to push some limits sometimes because that's as far. And Moon Henry, please, if you're watching this, holla at me, bro. We gotta talk. The next phase won't begin until me and you talk. And I'm saying that for a reason. I use these because I'm looking at a screen and cannot see that. But I want to give you a lesson. We're gonna start off like this. We're about to play God of War, right? One of the greatest games ever made. I've never played it before. I never had time to sit down and play video games, and now I do. Right now I have the ability. I have the luxury that I'm waiting for my state parole officer to come, and he's gonna come check me in, and you guys are probably gonna see that, right? Let's have the camera rolling so you guys get to really see how my life goes. He texted me an hour ago that he would be here shortly, and he's still yet to arrive. So, anyways, it's 11:40. Okay, we're gonna enter this world, Norse, mystic, North, Greek mythology. We're Kratos, and right now our son. If you haven't been catching the last streams, I decided to do it this way because it seems the best way. I forgot. God is good, and He speaks to me, and He used my cousin Tony to reveal what I needed to do. So this is it. YouTube is the biggest platform where the videos will stay instead of Twitch, where we're live streaming on Twitch to the gameplay that everybody loves. But, anyways, um, let me play my phone because I get distracted easy. Moon Henry, you gotta talk to me, baby. We gotta talk because we're talking the same thing. I just popped into your video. We're literally saying the same thing, so we're all connected. And please come holler at me. I promise that the next level will not start until you talk to me. Reach out to me on my Instagram at Kenneth number 5_D, or like I said, Discord. The Discord is on here. We're logged in. Are we logged in on the Discord? Are we logged in on the Discord? Yes, we got the Discord. Hit me up on any of this. Jump in right now, live, live. You are a man of God, and I need to talk to you because I need to be. You are. I'm gonna say you are John the Baptist, Moon Henry, and that's what you are right now. And you need to complete your mission right now. Me and you got to talk. So as we talk about this, I'm gonna talk about the importance of this book. This book began when I was 4 years old. 4 years old. I was 4 years old when this book began. Okay. I'm gonna give it some light because I want you to see the contents of the book. That's the important thing. It needs to be shown, right? And this book started. This book started 4 years when I was 4 years old. I decided to put it in paper because I cannot contain everything that I needed. I cannot longer contain it there because life begins at 12, right? That's the story. In the first page, we have a key, the key to the book. This book, you cannot understand the book unless you have this key. This key that I'm trying to show, I'm trying to get the camera to focus on. Right? Once you have this key, once you understand the key, right? You're gonna understand how to build and create your reality. And it needs to be this way, and I need to show these are all my versions, and this is my book. So since this is my book, so I'm showing you my book and my key to my book. And in this key, there's a lot of information. When I was born, I was given a map, right? And Moon Henry talks about the moon child. And I'm going to teach him about stuff. So I was born on June 5th, right here, at the top. This is the map. It's the map of Florida, right here. This is the state. It's all drawn, like I said, began at 4, started to pin it down at 12. And this is all, information that that we can verify what I'm saying is true. I lived at 2 Glenwood Avenue in Jersey City, New Jersey, 07306. That's where I live growing up. Um, uh, a family moved into that house. They're called the Santos family, right? The Santos family. We moved to 96 Parappa Avenue, Jersey City, New Jersey, 07305. 305 is where I was born, 305, that's when I realized, like, I am where I'm supposed to be at 12 years old. And I decided to write this down. And those people who moved to Glenwood Avenue ended up buying the house after we sold it in 96 Parappa Avenue. So they moved into 96 Parappa Avenue. Years later, we went to visit them because used to go to the same church. The church got a prophecy. They used to go to the church in Hoboken. We went to the one in Jersey City. We went to visit them, and they told my parents a story like, "Hey, which one of your kids is the artist or whatever?" Um, we found like a bunch of like a book or paintings and stuff. Mind you, life goes on. You don't know. So I used this book my entire life to talk to myself through my journey. And we're gonna add to it, right? Because we gotta make it more creative, and we're building this reality. That's what I want to show you. That's what this class is about. That's why, if you're on YouTube, you're able to see my classes. Aristotle. Aristotle gave me freedom, and we're gonna talk about him. And this is the third time I do this stream. This is the first time that I think I did it right because I talked to my cousin Tony, who put me on game. Because there's helicopters flying over my house. So because there are helicopters flying over my house consistently, uh, I lose internet, even though I'm connected to the internet now through a 450-foot cable. So, anyways, this is the map. This is the map that I was given. Okay, I don't know nothing else, and we're gonna just, yesterday we drew the key, and we added to the key. So there's a key in the map because every map needs a key, and we established that this crown right here, from this key, is right here because that's where I was born, Miami, Florida, Jackson Memorial Hospital on June 5th. Okay, yesterday was my sister's birthday. God bless her. She's my twin. She's my twin. I was supposed to be born with her. Me and her share the same. We shared the same time of age for a while, but we're not the same age. We were supposed to be twins. We share the same battle scars, the same life. She's a beautiful woman. So yesterday I was celebrating her birthday. We celebrated. So this is I got this when I was born, which is my home, my home. This is home on this round, right? It's Florida. If you can't notice, or if I'm not a good enough artist, or there's too much light. I don't know. I don't know. We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna watch the stream. We'll figure it out. We're not gonna watch the stream, but you guys are gonna watch, and you guys are gonna tell me. This is where I'm from. This is the crown, the key. And I want to explain this book. This book has a lot of information. And there's a timeline here that I figured out. I've been working on this for 4 years. And the reason I say all this, if I'm not going to get into it, this book has a lot of information. I'm going to show you something crazy, but essentially what happened to me was that they let me sit down. So this is what happens, right? This is 6 years ago, okay? 6 years ago when I got this. And then this has been more recent because I saved pages, right? So I did this, this is the progression of a vision. And when you start seeing the vision, right? And this is what this book represents. That the books prior to this one had all this. And as I'm creating this one, which will be just another book, by the time I get to the finished book, it would be all like this. This is and we're adding to it as we speak right now. We're creating it. And that's what I want to talk about, creation and who led me to this and why I was led to this. And I grew up in a very religious Pentecostal church, and on a Sunday morning when I was 4 years old, the pastor was preaching about it was written. And all I asked was the simple question: is we're gonna play, we're gonna enter, because of this question, all of this exists. What you're watching me through, what you're watching me through, where you're watching me through, how you're watching me, what I'm playing, what I'm using, what I'm watching you through, what I'm showing you through. It's all because of this, because of these laws, right? That I'm crazy, a crazy person, um, believe that what they did was that got all the knowledge. Somebody found the book. One of these guys they're right here. They're all right here. My suspects are right here. My suspect list. This is I'm building the case. In my last stream, I talked about John Eisler, how John Eisler presented a case to Judge Amoroso, and they were asking 20 to 40 for my life. 20 to 40 to put me in jail is 20 to 40. And he brought a weak case, so that's why I got the time I did. And I am looking for John Eisler and Moon Henry. You're gonna be a part of this. I'm looking for John Eisler because he brought a case to Judge Amoroso, and he didn't follow these rules. These are the chat rules for YouTube, for Twitch, for the rest of your life, for Instagram. When you come to my post, say what you want. Rule number one, stand on what you say. Rule number two. And rule number three, what John Eisner didn't follow, stand corrected. Is that when you have information and you think that information is correct, but somebody brings you real information, new information, and the information contradicts what you say, you can stand corrected. It's okay to admit we were wrong. It's okay to admit. This is why I want to talk to him. This is why I'm literally on YouTube talking to Moon Henry as this beautiful bird, this Oreo just goes here. And I'm not gonna show myself. I'm gonna keep talking and show how blessed I am, how beautiful my life is. Not that just bird just literally flew there. That's a confirmation that Moon Henry is listening to me. Oh, we'll listen to this because it stays on YouTube for a long time. So we're gonna wanna watch here this beautiful outside. Because you guys don't really need to see me, but just in case you do want to see me, right? Just in case, because it's also part of the you know, it's part of the we'll call it a ritual, okay? I don't believe, you know what I'm saying, like it's not, but we'll call it a ritual. um okay, I guess I cannot do this. My computer is slow and I just messed it up, and yeah, this is not gonna work out, and I can't all right, so let me refocus here. Let me get back. Let me get back. Discard, because I'm losing focus. Like I said, I get distracted easy. I have no problem admitting that. I have no problem. I'm trying to still do it though, but it's not. Window capture. I'm trying to put my computer camera, but I should have set this up prior to this. Okay, so this is my fault. This is all my doing. Consequences of not really being prepared. But I want you to damn, but you guys have to see the, well, you guys already know about the book. But my suspect list is there. And we have a couple of names, and I want to talk about the first person that I'm bringing to the stand. And this is Aristotle and his take on philosophy. Right? So there's a tree there. There are birds that live right there. So this is how we're gonna do this gameplay, because I don't want you to look at the voice, the messenger. Just listen to the message. It's the most important thing that I want you guys to get out of here. So we're gonna embark in this journey. We are entering Kratos' world, so be aware there is violence coming up ahead. There is chains. There is, but we have to do this. This is the journey that God has given us, and this is the storyline that God has given us. And all we could do is play our part. Moon Henry has played his part, and now he has to allow me to play my part, right? And just like that David Icke guy or whatever he was talking about, I don't remember who he was talking about. They played their part. Now let me play mine, my man. And as you guys get to watch that, I can turn this off because we don't need that. And you guys get to see this beautiful outside as I play this. And we talk. We get to know each other. So there were giants on the earth. This is where we're at in the storyline. Now my man found out that, right, and this is how I found out too. I found out through I found out, and I put this on my Instagram, and it's through dreams. I have dreams, and just like everybody has dreams, but then I have one that go beyond, right? One that repeat the same dream, and then I won't stop having the same dream, right, until I think something of the dream. And I feel like that happens to people like me, because people like me are in love with Aristotle and philosophy. We love to think. We love to sit back and think. But my life until a couple years ago, I couldn't do that. I cannot. I was a working bee. I worked for a union, have my own company. I have a son who plays traveling sports, multiple sports, did jujitsu, and so my schedule was, my life prior to this incarceration, my schedule was that every other weekend I would fly to Florida to go visit my son, because I did not live in Florida. I used to, from Florida, but I do not. I have a special place up north in Jersey. Has always been my home. My, what do you call that? My true self, I guess you would say. Uh, it would be It's too much light, man. Yeah. That's it, man. I gotta prepare for this. We're gonna learn. We're learning. That's better light. That's better. I don't like the way the camera makes my skin look. I am proud to be brown, and I feel like these cameras like whiten you up. Um, I am brown as shit though. Like, you know, as you can see, I almost put that in my mouth in front of you guys, but I'm not doing that right now. So we're talking about at the same time we're playing this game line, right? We're talking about this. Remember, I had to switch the camera, and I have a group of names here, and I have a timeline, right? And it starts with Aristotle, then it goes into Plato, Herodotus, Solomon, right? Socrates. I mean Solon and Socrates. So as you can see, as we give this class or whatever you want to call it, we're gonna concentrate on Aristotle, right? Today we're gonna write this down. Today is June 19th. June 19th. 6 1 9 26. Alright, we're writing this down. This is when we spoke about this. Like I said, we're gonna do this together. Now I know how to do it. Let me just confirm on YouTube that this is streaming and it's all good. And you guys aren't, watching nothing. And they were asking 20 to 40 for my life. 20 to 40 to put me in jail is 20 to 40. And he brought a weak case, so that's why I got the time I did. And I am looking for John Eisler. And Moon Henry, you're going to be a part of this. I'm looking for John Eisler because he brought a case to Judge Amoroso. And he didn't follow these rules. These are the chat rules for YouTube, for Twitch, for... And I got to make a post. Just because... I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I hate that I do this. But actually, I gotta check my Twitch too. Actually, I gotta check my Twitch too. Okay, so that's working too. Actually, I gotta check my Twitch too. Okay, so that's working too. Actually, I gotta check my Twitch too. Okay, so that's working too. I have no problem doing it again. I'm gonna do it again. My theory is I have a theory, and I'm bringing a case to the public, right? And you guys are gonna help me write this theory. I already have this book. This book is done. This book is done. It's finished. We're just gonna write a copy of it together. This is called the. My book is done. This version of it, you guys, which are you guys are helping me, is for the public. It's for you guys to learn, to use this, to use these keys, right? These keys, and I want to explain to you these keys, right? Once you learn this, you learn how to play the game. All this is here, right? Proverbs 18:21. The tongue has the power of life and death, and those who love it will cast will love it, will eat its fruits. Proverbs 18:21. Law one. Then you have this. You guys have to discover that on your own. Enki. Then Manly P. Hall, who to me, this is the way I can describe it. I am Kenneth watching Games of Thrones, right? And you know the character King Jeffrey, whatever his name was. That is who Manly P. Hall is to me. Like, bro, you play that part so well that I actually have feelings towards the actor for playing the part. But we don't do that. We understand this reality. Okay? That's what I want to teach you guys. These are the rules that I want to teach you guys. So Manly P. Hall took Proverbs 18 and he wrote this. I penned it down until at last came to be for life and breath, the business which you see. Okay? That's Manly P. Hall quote, my Jeffrey. As also below, it has to be written. So we're gonna do this together. I wrote it down until it came to be for every breath, life I take speaks, creating this reality. And that is going to be, that's my signature. But we're going to also write Nico Costas, right? And today is 6/19/26. Remember, we already wrote this book, but we're doing this together. So I got Manly's P quote, understanding the Proverbs 18, and I redid my quote. And it says, and I want you to quote me. This is why I'm doing this. It says, I wrote it down until it came to be for every breath I took created this reality. You do as you do. This is the key. This is the key. This will be tatted on my neck in a couple months. And people don't even know why they do that. And I want to teach you that once you learn, you do things and God will back you up. So, anyways, today we're talking about philosophy. Oh, shit. I forgot. Today we're talking about philosophy. We had to do this via forgot because I have it set up like this. I didn't do the other setup. So we have this book. You guys already seen it. When I show the book, I'm going to have to switch, right? I have a group of suspects, which I think, and I want to be clear with this. I love Greek mythology. I love knowing things. I love learning about things. Aristotle is my hero. He's my Hermes. The reason I'm here today, the reason I'm doing this is because I learned that I was allowed to ask the question, what? I want to explain the realms now. The times of Aristotle, there was no technology. Technology did not exist. Technology did not exist like we have today. The availability. They didn't have this. They had the knowledge. They had the knowledge. They were able to, with knowledge, create beautiful architecture. What the spiritual realm really wanted to express. In time, in time, the more people learn, you're gonna see. Because all Aristotle did was that he asked a question. He asked a question, and that's all he did. Yes, he just said like why, how, when, whatever that's called today, right? They used to write a story or whatever. He did that, and when I was 12 years old, I used to go to a church, and you were not allowed to question things. And I, inside my head, I created this reality, another world, where I did question things, and I would just keep it to myself. But until one day, sitting in jail, 20 years later, I finally got my replies, and I started understanding the questions. See, and that's why time isn't real, because this book has been written, I feel like, this week, last month, but it's been actually written my entire life, and it's going to be continuing to my entire life. In 10 years, I'm going to look back in this book and add to it, and learn from it, and relearn. And that is the secret to everything. That's the secret to life, in my opinion, is that you understand that you never stop learning. You understand that you don't learn. And I learned that lesson from my grandfather, who chose to be silent for the last 2 years of his life, pretending that he was mute. But he could clearly talk. We talked. I walked them every day. I walked them in Boulevard East and Union City. I walked them, hours. We would go out. We used to go on runs. And I would have so much energy that I could, let's go for a walk, old man. Let's go. Come on. And he would talk to me when we would go on these walks. And he would, like, say, like, but he just played dumb. And then that's what he told me. He's like, listen, all I know is that I don't know nothing. And he would just go like this. And every time, like, friction happened at the house, he would just look at me and go like this. And then he would just act like dumb. So I learned that. I was like, that was a great move that helped me. And, it helps when you're by yourself. When you're married, it changes. You have to readapt that. So it's been a struggle to go from that to that for me. But I got a chance to sit and go back on everything I've learned. We have a timeline here, like I said. We have Aristotle, Plato, Herodotus, Solon, and Socrates. Socrates, to me, is the most suspicious, right? He, to me, is the he is the